The recent news is talking about small businesses are closing in a high record. My theory is, look, the government has introduced with the tax and industry award rate super on the books immediately, effectively. All right, these are the rules has to be implemented. Now, whether as a consumer like me to go out and spend or whatsoever, that's a choice. But I could say for this fact, right? When I do Uber Eats and Uber Drive, those who tend to use the services are mainly those who are Australian born or Western born or go to work or go back to work. It creates jobs, right? Us drivers, we don't make money, but there's jobs, all right? But when you reduce the services, it becomes a problem. That is the same thing with a shop. What I'm trying to say to you is a working class going to the work and needs, or those who wants to go to go to their favorite cafe in the city, right? What I'm trying to say here is that when I was looking at this article, the first thing came to my mind, because industry award rate, super taxes, blah blah blah. This period of time, nobody wants to pay the high price. And people should understand why they're paying the high price. Not because the owner wants to rip you off. Owner needs to sustain. I spoke to business owners that they're running 3 businesses in one retail. And she couldn't stay afloat. People wants the good stuff, but don't want to pay the price. They pay the lower price. And this is the reason why whoever opened business in today's world, right now, at this moment of time, it's a struggle transition. People need to understand and get used to the higher price. And I'm not saying good or bad about the higher price. It's because of the tax system. 50% or 40% goes to tax, and after that, GST as well included. Then you have the wages. Then you have bills. Then you have, whatever stocks. And it piles up. And when it piles up, nobody's making money, and they have to check up the prices in order to make money. Now, one of the areas that I do want to talk about is the newly wave migrants coming to your country. Got no hate on them. They're welcome, no problem. But they have this frugal saving mindset, which is great. They can build their Australian dream even faster, whether their house or whether that beautiful car, whether their business, whatsoever. And that's why I say at the beginning of the video is that those who are Aussie born or going to work for a different purpose will go out and spend money. But the new migrants not going to spend money. They're going to keep on saving, and whether they shift the money back to their country, or whether they're buying a house or whatsoever, just not having luxurious or treat themselves or reward themselves or whatsoever, or even dare to think about doing X, Y, and Z, and they rather stay at home. This will create consequences of businesses are not, the money is not circulating. The money only circulating to the banks or to the overseas and to the grocery store. This becomes a problem. And when a minority becomes a majority, which right now we are running more immigrants. I've got nothing hater. I'm an immigrant myself. And more business will shut, as you see this article. Employees lose their job, employers on debt and lose their job, and everyone's finding the job, and it's a domino effect. So that's my take on looking at the whole thing. And it's not easy to run a business.